Yesterday, Vladimir Putin recognized two regions of Ukraine as independent states. And he bizarrely asserted that these regions are no longer part of Ukraine and their sovereign territory. To put it simply, Russia just announced that it is carving out a big chunk of Ukraine. Who in the Lord's name does Putin think gives him the right to declare new so-called countries on territory that belong to his neighbors? This is a flagrant violation of international law and demands a firm response from the international community.
The row between Russia and Ukraine is heating up again with the Kremlin's recognition on Monday, February 22, of the independence of Donetsk and Luhansk regions in eastern Ukraine, marking a new low in relations between Kyiv and Moscow. These areas are in the control of separatist groups fighting the Ukrainian army. How do you solve the problem in Ukraine? How do you solve this problem between Russia and Ukraine? With cooler heads, of course. You can't solve a problem with angry people, exploding bombs, and the rat-tat-tat of guns. Let's all sit down and cool off and wonder, can Ukraine and Russia get along? Of course, look at Japan and the USA. They were killing each other in World War II. Now, they're lovey-dovey, together in business and allies in peace. They're not even relatives. Now look at Ukraine and Russia. They're blood brothers, both born in the city of Kyiv, in the Kievan Rus. They have a shared history, both in ancient and modern times. In the Kievan Rus and the USSR, they should go through this like brothers and calmly talk about this, face to face, just the two of them, no one else. Don't listen to the USA. They just want to sell guns and control the world. Don't listen to Germany. They want Russia's oil. All the other NATO countries have reasons of their own. Their national interests come first. Russia and Ukraine must talk on their own terms, solve the problem between them without the intervention of other people. First, establish the ground rules. Number one, they are blood brothers. They should talk like human beings, respecting each other's views. Number two, self-determination. Both are big boys now. If one wishes to go his way, respect that. Number three, find common grounds where they both agree and work from there. Number four, set aside the differences. Work on them later. Maybe the differences will iron themselves out with time. If not, do it later. Don't fight. Number five, keep calm and drink vodka. It keeps the spirits up. Now, should we call in the two Vladimirs, even if one of them calls himself Volodymyr? Is it time for Putin and Zelensky to sit down and talk? Who's talking about Zelensky and Putin? They cannot be trusted. They're both playing to their own galleries. Many politicians today cannot tell statesmanship from battleships. All they know are brinkmanship and grandstanding. How about NATO? Should Ukraine be allowed to join NATO? Well, no. Why is NATO still existing even today? The Warsaw Pact is gone. NATO should go too. Let us all live in peace. War as an instrument of national policy is passé. The use of weapons is despicable. It's time the Russian and Ukrainian people talk directly among themselves. Find a way to choose people from both sides to do the talking. Ordinary people, rich and poor Russians and Ukrainians who embody the wishes of ordinary citizens. Both sides must set aside the animosity fanned by vain nationalism and misplaced patriotic pride. They should find peace with each other, get along with each other, because they are one family, and decide to all live in peace and work productively for their families, for their communities. The alternative is to kill each other forever.
Who in the Lord's name does Putin think gives him the right to declare new so-called countries on territory that belong to his neighbors? This is a flagrant violation of international law and demands a firm response from the international community.